Okay guys, here's a quick recap of today's fishing trip. I decided to, because of the wind coming from the south to the north, and it being the last day probably for a week where it's going to be manageable to get out anywhere, I decided to go out to the outer edge of the Gulf here. Went to Cudjoe Key and launched off of Blimp Road, which is this center line here that just runs straight up Cudjoe Key and basically dead ends into the water. Very nice public boat launch. The ramp is nice and concrete, plenty of parking. Great access for kayakers because this area here is excellent flats fishing, so highly recommend hitting there. It's not too bad of a paddle, just got to make it across the channel and then you have a bunch of flats. You can head down south and fish the bridge or north to the Gulf side. For my trip there, I made the run to the far outside here and basically where it dumps into the actual Gulf. These are all very shallowy areas here. The channel is pretty deep, up to I think probably 25 foot in some areas here, but where it dumps out to is a bunch of real flat kind of rocky bottom areas there, intermixed with a lot of white sandy spots. Great for lobstering if you're in there wanting to do that. Anywhere along these edges here of the outside is all good lobstering. But for me, I just basically anchored up at the end of the dump off there. It was outgoing tide, so it worked out perfectly. Put the chum back out. They have ballyhoo just like the Atlantic side, so they were swarming like usual. Picked up a couple of those, put them on my up and downs, caught a few fish. Not a super great day, but not too bad. And that's pretty much was the day. It did remind me that I'd like to try to do some shark fishing here, so while this wind is blowing, because it's going to be pretty nasty through and the rest of the month until the beginning of December, until November, Monday the 30th, and December 1st will be the first day it's going to calm down a bit. So I might want to do some shark action this next week and see if I can find some secluded spots out of the wind and just be wind dependent, get out and see what I can catch there. But otherwise, just check out for how I did today. Thanks.